So Gaffer, we're now 48 hours on from the win on Tuesday night. Any more reflections on it 48 hours later?
Only I've seen on the video what I saw on the day. Obviously on the day as well, you probably wanted more goals. But you know, we're not at a level where you win 10-0 or something. 5 or 6 would have been probably reflective, but the boys saw the game out well, and we had to change the shape right at the end there when they brought on their subs and got a little bit lively, sort of thing. And then we had to adjust to that, and we did, and obviously saw out the rest of the game, along with still a couple more chances after that. So no, I was just as pleased after seeing the review as I was on the day, and it was a good performance from everybody. We had a situation early on where at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, Ben Winter rang us to say that his wife, who was heavily pregnant and due at any stage, I've got to take her to the hospital, and they may, you know, she may have the baby before kick-off, sort of thing, or she may not. And he went, he looked after her, which was lovely, and but he managed to get a babysitter for his other one. His wife said, "No, go on, you go and play." She was stayed in the hospital. He came in because everything was all right, and played really well, played his part, and then flew home, and she had the baby early in the morning, little Leo, and he played his 150th game, and he got called up for England C from the contingency group, you know, a couple, but you know, he was in the full squad, so him and Armani will play for England C, or be involved anyway, against the Welsh, next Wednesday at Carnarvon.
And this isn't the first time.
So well done to him, by the way. That was the idea of bringing him up.
It's not the first time that players of yours have been called up to the England C team or the England centre. I think actually your son Lee actually got called up to it. What's it mean for a player at this level?
Well, it's not like England A, of course, but I think I'd have probably been more disappointed had we still had the Stockport game, because then we would have had, you know, 2 of our most consistent players playing in a game that's not really anything to play for, other than the, you know, that you've got the accolade of being selected for a team. Yeah, I'm torn really, but as we have got that 10 days now between 2 games, this game coming up, Weymouth, and then Notts County, then both lads wanted to play, so we respected their view, and it's always nice for all. I mean, when I was at Yeovil, I think 5 of our lads got selected, and maybe they could have picked a couple more, but it's good Armani's and Winch are there together, so that's always good. You know, you don't feel uncomfortable with a group of people you don't know, and you've probably been kicking and fighting a week or so before. But yeah, listen, you know, the view is it's a game, and for them, and they wanted to play, so fair enough.
Going back to the Tuesday night's game again, Gaffer, I mean, obviously you said that you would have been nice. It would have been nice to have more goals. I think most of the Yellow Army would have taken 4-0 any day long. But did the goal difference come into it at all? Was that any part of thinking? Because they were absolutely incessant on trying to get goals, you know, despite being 4-0 up. Yeah,
I think Aldershot started quite well. First couple of minutes, they got a free kick, and then, you know, they had a couple of other little things, and then we took over the game. And you don't start a game by saying we're going to get 5 today, but if you get the 1, which was good that we got that in the 12 minutes, then we needed to just keep the tempo. You know, that's what you need to do as far into the game as you can. That's important for my game, our game, and they did that, and we kept, you know, finding our forward players. We had good runners getting beyond the ball. we defended well. Our goalkeeper done his job, and it looked comfortable. And then we just had to be clinical, which we hadn't been on a couple of occasions previously. And our goals were perfect goals for us. You could go through them and go, well, we worked that in the week. I mean, Downsy done we worked it out that they had a little bit of a hole in that penalty area, and we nearly got in just before that, where Armani tried to find Connor, and then we swapped Connor with Mox because it was going the other side, and we got him in. So we worked on that. We worked on runners getting in. We worked on just being relentless again, and we were. And so I was really pleased with all our goals. The last goal typified us, where 3-4 great passes and a good easy finish, which is what you want. You want the easy goals as well as the spectacular goals.
I've always said, Gaffer, when you keep clean sheets, it's for the whole team. It's not just for the goalkeeper or the back line. It must be also nice to see at the other end of the pitch that the goals are being spread out amongst the team as well.
Yeah, you can see how pleased all the boys were that Mox got his goal. Yeah, I don't think he'd scored since his penalty a little while ago. And he's been playing great, Mox. He's been very, very consistent, and he deserved that accolade. And as I say, I always look at our celebrations to make sure that everybody's in it, everybody wants to be in it, and they are all happy for each other. Then I know our squad's comfortable with each other, which is nice, and happy for each other. And that was, and they did. Every celebration showed me that perhaps we didn't celebrate as heartily when it was an own goal. Well, that was just out of respect for the fella who scored the own goal. But yeah, I'm a big believer in having a look at what happens away from the play, whether it be celebrations for a goal or whatever it is at the end of games. I need to see that they're 100% behind themselves, their mates, the crowd and the club.
Finally, Gaffer, after the Halifax defeat, obviously the attention clearly focused on the 2 home games. Obviously one win is down. Hopefully there'll be another one Saturday, 50% of the way there now. But given the fact that you've mentioned the Stockport game has now been rearranged, does that put extra onus on the fact that we've got this game on Saturday and then there is quite a break before the next game?
Well, obviously you think very hard about where you put in a fixture that has to be rearranged, and we talked with our board, who always talk to us about these decisions, as to when would be the best time to play it. They'd already given us a particular date that they think they could fit it in, and we decided that for us, when you looked at all the pros and cons, that wasn't a bad scenario, as we couldn't play the game anyway, because obviously they're in the trophies. That's the trophy, and it gives us 10 days after Weymouth to prepare for what could be a very, very important game for us. Now, of course, we've got a game before that, but those 10 days will give us a chance to get everybody fighting fit, and hopefully we'll be in a position where we can play Notts County in the same vein as almost the playoff final of last season, and that would be great if we can put ourselves in that position. It depends on how the results go, of course. Our one game, I think Notts County have got 2 games, and they're one of the teams we've got to try and catch, because they're up there in the top, what are they, the 7th, 6th team, and we've got to get our sights on those just above us and in 5th, 6th, 7th spot in the playoffs.